just assuming you are the youngest. But, and you even checked, okay? So we're going to start from right here and work our way right up to the end. Let me pick up my phone. All right, sir, you introduce yourself, and after introducing yourself, your clock starts now.
Salbonani, my name is Nixon Valentine Kama from Matabeleland South. Unfortunately, I had a long presentation, but 5 minutes is quite okay. So I'm representing the youth, and what I would like to say first and foremost is that water is life, and since Matabeleland has water problems, it means there is no life in Matabeleland South for the youth. And remember, we constitute the largest number in the globe. So it means for the youth, that is a disaster. And let me not forget something. Imagine if me personally, I'm having problems with the water. What about a person living with disabilities? You remember, if I'm complaining about a pothole, what about someone who wheelchair? So I would like to say the problem started in 1912 with the project, but now it's 2025 and we still have problems. So it means a lot has to be done now. We need to actually have ubudlelwano between the engineers, the doctors, and the youth. Tina Sivanengi, so we need to expertise, because now it's not time for research. It's time to actually say, let's come and evaluate where we failed. We leave the methods that did not work for us. We pick something from like South Africa, Dr. Masuku. We need to actually have something practical. 50% theory, 50% practical, so that we know what we are doing, because this is a cobra effect. Let me be fast. In India, the British government said they will pay everyone who will actually bring a cobra so that they can eradicate the cobras. And the people started breeding cobras. The problem got worse. And then the people, the government realized now the people, they are capitalizing from the problem. They stopped paying, and the people released the cobras to the jungle. So this is what happened. The problem was better in 1912. 2025 is way worse. What went wrong? We need to evaluate. And bagiti ngeke sikhulume ngama strategies izoluselisina amanzi sehambile already. But nonetheless, we have to be smart. What's the way forward as we talk? You
have only done 2 minutes. 5 minutes is a good motivation.
Let me be confident. I would like to say, Tina, as abantu from amanzi atlupa, not just Blawayo. Remember, Blawayo is not Matabeleland. Matabeleland, Plumtree, Gwanda, everywhere. Where I come from, Halisupe, everywhere, amanzi eye problem. And you might be needing 14 million for Bulawayo. What about other provinces? What about other provinces in Matabeleland? How much do we need as Matabeleland, not as Bulawayo? We need to actually think, same level, all of us, because it's all right, we need this money. If water is a priority, if water is life, then that should be the most major thing, a priority list here to sing abantu be Zimbabwe, especially the youth, Sivanengi. So ladies and gentlemen, because 5 minutes, but I would like to say, I'll be contributing and I'll be trying my best to answer. Too much.
All right. Since you have given us 2 minutes of your time, we'll be very lenient. When it comes to the questions, please deal gently with the youth. Okay. Deal gently with the youth. Thank you very much, sir. Those were your 3 minutes, and give him another round of applause. We're moving over to Dr. Matsilele. Your 5 minutes start now.
Thank you, MC. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I'll begin with the context for this gathering, which to me is very important, which is very, very important because water is life, and water is a human right, which is inalienable for every individual. The water situation in Zimbabwe is very critical, and more so for Matabeleland. And for Matabeleland, access to water is not only a developmental issue, it is a matter of human dignity, public health, and economic survival. So without water, what we are saying for Matabeleland is there's no meaningful development. I'll begin by a quotation from Thomas Sankara, former and late president of Burkina Faso. We must choose either champagne for a few or a safe drinking water for all.
All right.
This is what he said. So that means prioritizing water provision is a national issue, in as much as it is an international issue. Some talk of SDG 6. So in our priorities, I've had the South African case. Investing in water means that we must treat water as a business case. For someone to invest, for private sector to come in, water investment in infrastructure must make business sense. And you have seen the South African case, all those who are involved in provision of water. So it's not only central government issue as a duty bearer, it's not only the local authority as a duty bearer, but even the right holders need to play the part as well. The citizens need to play a part by paying what is due in order for the water to be provided. In fact, those who do not afford, that is why we have subsidies. That is why we have Department of Social Welfare to take care of that. So I think that is the context from where we are coming from. And the water situation in Zimbabwe, only 26% of households in Zimbabwe have access to piped water in the dwelling or yard. In Matabeleland North, half of all the households still practice open defecation. About 19% or rely on bores, and only 68% have a basic hand washing facility with soap and water. These are damning statistics for a region and for a country. And local authorities are at the center of water governance. Local authorities are the implementing arm of state closer to the citizens. Section 77 of our Constitution guarantees the right to safe and potable water, while Section 264 empowers local authorities to manage their own affairs. For this to happen, councils need fiscal space and operational authority. We do not have, nowadays, we are just talking of devolution, but local authorities have no powers. It is still the central government that is clinging on to that. And for local authorities, for them to decide on what to do in order to provide water to the citizens, the onus still lies with central government. Financing and institutional strengthening for WASH. A predictable share of intergovernmental fiscal transfers dedicated to water, sanitation, and hygiene is a must for Zimbabwe. As long as we do not have a dedicated intergovernmental fiscal transfer going to local authorities and earmarked for water, then we'll always miss the point. Policy and partnership directions from the Association of Road Councils of Zimbabwe. We need to prioritize WASH funding within the intergovernmental fiscal transfer framework, accelerate completion for Guaishangani and glass block dams, and establish transparent bulk water agreements with the local authorities. Yes, the water is in Guaishangani and it's coming to Bulawayo, but all along there are local authorities there. How are they going to access that water? We all know that from ZINWA perspective, my colleagues here, when we do a dam, it's not just a dam project. It is to do with electricity provision, irrigation, water, food security. It is about tourism. So a dam project is 5 in 1, and it solves a lot of issues for our communities. Food security issues, tourism issues, electricity provision, and so this is why we say, as the association, we must prioritize provision of that infrastructure, because it is a 5 in 1 program.
Dr. Matselele, did you just refer to him as your colleague from ZINWA? You're talking about the dam being 5 in 1.
Yes.
Let him take it up from there.
I know you'll take it from there.
Your 5 minutes is up.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Round out?
Okay, you want to round up? Okay,
Yes.
round it up.
Institutionalize a raw wash compact that consolidates all ongoing government and partner interventions. We've seen all the partners. We need an integrated approach whereby ZESA comes in, ZINWA comes in, local authorities come in, and government comes in, so that it becomes an integrated approach. And it is not only about the local authority or government, but everyone else's responsibility. I thank you.
I appreciate it, SG. Over to you, engineer.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies.
All right. Are you still thanking me? I'll not charge you. Thank me.
Okay. All right. I hadn't done a presentation per se, but I'll just.
You
go
are done
through.
thanking me. Okay, start.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
yes, yes. The issue is just for you to speak freely on whatever is
Thank you.
in your heart.
I'll
Start
just
now.
take the delegates through the background in terms of water resources management in Zimbabwe. We know we are moving with, there's someone who mentioned about the Dublin principles where we are talking about sustainability and equitability of access to water. We back then with the Water Act of 1976, which had some water rights, and that was a challenge for people to access water, because if you had rights, it was up to perpetuate forever. So government, in moving in line with the new principles that are there was a new enactment of the new Water Act of 1998, chapter 2024, which also gave, by the formation of the Water Authority, which is ZINWA, subject to the ZINWA Act, chapter 2025 of also 1998. Those ZINWA then later became operational in 2000. The roles of ZINWA, basically ZINWA is the government water engineer responsible for the design, construction, operation and maintenance of water infrastructure in the country, supplying raw water to industries, local authorities, farmers, mines, etc., and also supplying clear water to those local authorities that would have been deemed to not have the capacity to do so. Once a local authority attains capacity, we hand over, we only supply raw water. That's why you find in Matabeleland, if you start with Matabeleland North, ZINWA is still supplying in Wange, Lupane, Cholocho, etc., all the other raw service centers. You go to Mat South in Flabusi, Esgodin, just to mention a few. So once a local authority is subject to the Urban Councils Act for the urban councils and also the ARDCZ, that's how we operate. So we interact a lot with local authorities, both in raw water and also on clear water. There was an issue that was being discussed in terms of cost, whether people should pay or not pay for water. Basically, what I can say is that when you are paying, you are not buying water, you are basically paying for a service. So that system that is supplying water continuously is being oiled. It's just like using an engine and you are not oiling it or putting water, obviously it will break down. So that system also needs to be oiled. So it's service charges, not buying water. We cannot attach cost or value to water. Even the most richest person in the world will not afford it. I think Engineer Masuk was talking about potential of wars due to water. That's why water, there's no attachment of cost, but otherwise of services. And in terms of ZINWA, how we do it for raw water, it's cost recovery as well as clear water. We are saying cost recovery, basically the inputs that we are putting, we also need to recover those costs. And the rates for ZINWA, just to clarify, they are not set by ZINWA or the board. They are set by the ministry. So those are government rates. And you find that what you are paying, what is paying in Mutoko is the same that is being paid in Wange, is the same that is being paid everywhere in Zimbabwe. And we are saying for the first 10 cubes, 1 to 10 cubes, is $0.04 per cube. And a cube, that's 1,000 liters. Those are 5 drums, just going for $0.04. And I think you can appreciate, that's what I'm saying, you're paying for service. You compare the cost of this and you compare to the first 10 cubes that you're allowed to drink. That will give you an indication of how, water resources has got people in mind in terms of the cost that we'll be talking about. Also, ZINWA is responsible for managing the interest of this country in terms of shared water courses, looking at your Limpopo River, Zambezi, Vanabudzi, all those. ZINWA represents Zimbabwe's interest with the other riparian countries, so that as Zimbabwe, our interests are also known. If we are doing projects, they can consider us as well. there's a massive thrust by government in terms of the construction of dams. I think we have seen in the past the commissioning of Tokwe Mkosi, causeway now called Mchekerwana. There are various projects that we are undertaking, but for now, since we are in Matabeleland, I'll concentrate on Matabeleland. We've got the Gwaishangane, which is part of the National Matabeleland Zambezi Water Project, which will alternatively bring water to here. We've got Ziminya also in Mat North. So those are some of the initiatives. And for the vulnerable groups, there is a levy that is paid and it goes to government. It's administered by ZINWA, which is the water levy. That's what we are using to drill boreholes under the Presidential Rural Development Program so that all the villages that don't have access to water have access to water. I think my 5 minutes done. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. That's racism. That's racism. When the young man presented, you didn't clap hands. When Matsilele, okay, let's go back, clap hands for him. Thank you, engineer. Thank you, engineer. We're coming back. That's why you're an engineer. You began to answer those questions that came up. What are you doing with our remittances? Okay, that's clever. Babun Zio.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Vinci Zio from Ward 22, working with the Progressive Residents Association. In fact, I won't go far. I will talk about the problems facing Bulawayo. Bulawayo is now in dire straits because of water, because of shortage of water. We have never seen it like this before, especially these past 3 months or so. We are literally using borehole water. We have reached the extent that people are now almost fighting because of borehole water, which they go to poach to those who have boreholes. Some of the guys don't have boreholes in their areas. They drive in trucks, come and collect water from other boreholes. Those boreholes get fucked up, and the people share the responsibility of repairing.
Yes, we can hear you, Bob.
The damaged boreholes. I'm sorry. The damaged boreholes.
Yes.
So as such, when somebody comes to get water there, that becomes a problem. And at the end of the day, they end up fighting. Going to the police also will side with people who say water is for everybody. But unfortunately, those who would have paid money to fix their borehole don't feel cheated. So as such, we feel that things are very bad in Bulawayo. Literally, almost everybody is using boreholes. As such, when we talk about the issue with the people, the residents of Bulawayo, they believe that the problem is because ZINWA and the city council and the government are not working together. Because the city council has a history of providing water without any problems, ever since. But it has started now since ZINWA joined in to run the water issues, even the dams, which were built by the city council, for that matter. ZINWA just took over, but it's failing even to maintain those dams. There's siltation going there because of the mining situation. Our catchment area is in the southern area where there are mines. As such, we are failing to get water. Now they are talking about bringing prepaid meters. Surely, if they bring prepaid meters, will that bring water to Bulawayo? I don't know whether prepaid water meters will bring water, which we know definitely is not the correct thing. The truth is, the dams are failing to sustain Bulawayo. And secondly, what we know is that we have been promised dams like Gwaishangane and so on, but nothing has materialized. And if you look at it now, we've got old people there in the townships. They are queuing at boreholes with young people who want to get water to go and sell. They end up not getting the chance to go and collect the water. The old ladies and the old people, they fail to get water because it's now a Vicoron thing to get water. So if we reach such a situation, I believe the government and other stakeholders should do something about it. Those who are lucky, who happen to have boreholes, and they have solar systems to open just a tap like that. They're in trouble because of invaders coming from other townships where there's no water. For your information, I would like to tell you that water is being sold in Bulawayo here. A bucket costs 10 rand, a 20-liter bucket, 20 rand. As such, the young people rush to the lines, to the queues, to get enough water to go and sell so that they get their money for beer or whatever.
Oh.
We have reached a dire situation in Bulawayo. It's serious. Maybe some of you have got Jojo tanks. You don't really know the really problem which is facing the people down there. Water is being sold. As it is being sold, those who have got what we call solar panels producing water so that they can take using taps, are in trouble because those young men who want to sell water, they come with trucks and tanks to go and sell that water wherever they want to sell it. But those owners of those stuff, they pay a lot of money to maintain those bowls and pumps. I think we would advise ZINWA, City Council, and the government to work together. Because we know the City Council has got experience.
Let me hold you there. Let me just hold you there. The next round for 1 minute. For 1 minute, the next round. You have given us problems, give us the solution in 1 minute. Now that's where you are. And we're working our way back to you.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, sir.
Believe as residents.
In 1 minute, yes, sir.
We believe as residents, the City Council has served us for many years without any problems until ZINWA come in. We believe that if ZINWA and government and the City Council can work together and find solution, a permanent solution for water. The City Council has got experience of providing water because it has done that before for many years. Even before I was born, it was providing water. But when ZINWA came in, the problem started.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
and
very much.
And we believe those water meters, people don't want them because they won't bring water. Thank you.
All right. Before we hand over to engineer, the solution is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The City Council has done it before. Give them operational space. Did I hear you to say that? Is that what you're saying? And number two, you're saying ZINWA, stay out. They should work together. So ZINWA must stay in. All right. ZINWA, you are staying in.
Okay, now
Please
just to clarify on that one, there is no way that ZINWA interferes with the Bulawayo City Council's operations. We don't interact in any way.
All right.
We just supply them water from Insiza, that is Mayfair, and Mchabezi. They treat, they distribute on their own. We supply them water from Nyamadlov Aquifer. We pump it to Country Park. They distribute on their own. I just wanted to clarify that.
All right.
So, and you are not even involved in the installation of bulk meters.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't rush it, engineer. Come again.
Okay, just to clarify that, as ZINWA here in Bulawayo, we supply clear potable water from Nyamadlov Aquifer, where we are pumping 25 megaliters per day to Country Park reservoirs, where Bulawayo City Council takes over for distribution to Magwegwe and to the rest of Bulawayo. Then for raw water, we are supplying from Chabezi. I think as the Honorable former Minister of Water was indicating, we are supplying from Chabezi to Mzingwane Dam to Ngema. Then we are also supplying from Insiza, that is Mayfair. Those are raw water that are then treated by council for distribution to clients.
The summarized version, you are not part of internal operations.
Indeed.
You are now going to use your 1 minute, but next time, engineer, don't be too clever, okay?
Okay.
I said solve your problem in 1 minute. Now you've solved it by answering his question. But anyway, I'm a generous man. I'm feeling generous. You have 1 minute of your own to use as you wish.
Myself, I don't have problems. We are here to solve problems. So I did not talk about challenges. But anyway,
yes.
To allude to the fact of bulk water that my elder here was alluding to, we are currently in the process of a blitz. Any bulk water supply should be registered according to the statutory instruments. And we are currently holding some blitz with the police, and those vehicles are being impounded. It should be regulated. and all bulk water supply and abstraction should be outside of the residential areas.
Okay.
So if you find that someone is using residential area to supply bulk water, please report to us so that the necessary interdictions can be done. Because we are saying we are over abstracting, you know, where we are here is because of the soil bearing pressure. If we are to over abstract, these buildings will crack. That's why government saw it plausible to do it outside. It's also to protect us in the future generations.
All right. Let me, you used engineering language. Abstraction. Yinoma ngubani osethatha amanzi ewagubha ngaphansi komhlabathi ukuthi awathengise ngobunengi bawo. Lingambono njalo isigelekeqe. Sitsheleni silapha lamapholisa sifele siyamdinga. Kucacile lokho. Yikho abstraction ikho akutshoyo khona ke. Ubaba uNhliziyo yasebese sithi it's an economic good. The youths have found a gap. Amali ethatha lapha lethengisa 20 rand. Unfortunately they use it for njengo, but otherwise it's gainful employment. How do you address that? Water is solving an unemployment crisis in Bulawayo. That's what Nhliziyo is saying. So what the youths are doing, they are moving into a neighborhood where there is water that is readily accessible. They get it, and they identify a need, they supply. In return, they're given 10 to 20 rand for a liter. I mean, for a bucket of 20 liters. What is your take on the employment side of it? Do you have problems with that as ZINWA?
Yes, indeed. We don't have a problem if it's regulated properly. They register to do that because, number one, the truck that is supposed to ferry that water should have a permit and it should be inspected. That is safe to do that. Then also, as I indicated, the area that they are abstracting from should be outside of residential areas.
Clear.
All the balls that are within residential areas are for consumption in those areas, not for bulk abstractions.
For personal consumption.
Yes.
Nathela bantabako. Dr. Matsilele, you have your 1 minute.
Okay, thank you, MC. My issue is about adequate water supply. Do we have enough water, be it raw water or treated water? That is the starting point.
All right.
Right now, I was looking at the dam levels for that supply Bulawayo. The Chavez, the Mzingwani, the whatever. They are all below 40%. Obviously, that is not a challenge of the local authority. That is not the challenge for ZINWA. But it is the challenge of our systems.
All right.
We are good at constructing, be it roads, be it dams, but the maintenance part of it. The dams are holding less water, far much less than their capacity because we are not maintaining. We are not rescooping, we are not, dam scooping, we are not doing all maintenance work. We are not repairing our pipes, we are not repairing our conveyances. So before we start quarreling about governance and other issues, let us make sure that the cake is there. Then we can start quarreling about how to share it.
All right.
Is the cake there? Is it adequate? Before we start quarreling. That's my submission.
Wonderful. Let's get the cake in the room. Yes, Kama, you have 1 minute, sir.
Okay, now be slow. My contribution is that what we need to know and keep in mind is Matabeleland, no one is coming to save us. If Tina singazenzeli, no one knows asenzela. So the only thing we can do now, abadala kade bekule indawo, we researcher doing everything. We have to engage each other, the youth and abadala, because bayahamba at some point, kuzamele siqale katsha ama projects abaqala years ago of which imali ayisekho. So Tina labadala kumele sibanjanise. I don't know who will do it, but we have to do it ASAP, so that singabambana Tina lalabo basibone Tina si researchile. We have our young engineers. Degree is a paper. Without ukulisebenzisa, it means nothing. So Tina abalama degrees vanenge ama youth Matabeleland. So bazali abadala, the doctors and the engineers sicela sibambaneni, so that because Matabeleland ngeyethu. If we wait for someone from outsiders, we will always be complaining. remember charity begins at home. Umlando ulati, yithi sizenzelayo, it's our problem, it's affecting us. Lokho kwenzakala kuphumula njalo kuvona sikhona ngale South. Ku-affect kuthina, u-affect umuntu outside. So if uthina singakuthatheli phezulu, akula muntu ozasinceda. Njalo I would like to say thina as a Gwanda, thanks to our mayor, ZINWA, we managed to get our plant, siyaziranela. Yes, kula hiccups here and there, but kwaba lama work so that we can actually manage into zethu. Siyabonga.
Ah, wonderful. A round of applause to our discussants. Let's give them a round of applause.